Today, I'm so excited to welcome someone I've known since way back, like sixth grade back. Brooke Briggs was a friend of my little brother Paul growing up, and to see what she's built since those early days is nothing short of extraordinary. Brooke is the founder of Magic Steps Music, a beloved early childhood music program that's touched thousands of families. She's also the founder of OC Farm School, a nature-based educational program that brings kids back to earth, to curiosity, and to hands-on learning. She's turned a love for music and children into an absolute empire, one built on passion, creativity, and deep service to her community. Brooke is also a mom of two, a 13-year-old son and a daughter who's off to college, and she's navigated entrepreneurship as a single parent with heart and grit. She's had a sneak peek at the manager, and I can't wait to talk about building, balancing, and staying connected to purpose, especially when the work we do shapes little lives. All right, Brooke, let's start at the beginning. You and I go way back. For those who are just meeting you, how did Magic Steps Music begin? What inspired you to create it?
I have to thank you so much for that lovely and kind introduction. My heart is so full. I was working in the corporate world and I had my daughter and was planning on going back to the corporate world. And from the minute they placed that baby on my chest, I just knew that I couldn't go back to working 40 hours a week away from her. And so I was just so inspired to create something and become some sort of entrepreneur so that I could be home with her. I put that out into the universe and said my prayers and said, okay, like I'm open to whatever God you have for me. And I'm open to all the signs. And when she was only 3 months old, there was a local music class. I enrolled her in that class, and it was only the very first class that I just knew right then, like, wow, first I was just amazed by how she was responding at such a young age to the music. She was only 2 months old and she was waving her little hands and kicking her feet. She was just you could tell she was enjoying it and just loving every second of it. So after, seeing her response to it, I went home that day and went online and just wanted to learn more about how I could support her musical growth on the website. And it's like, become a teacher. And I was just like, this is it. Like, this is what I'm going to do. Got certified to become a music teacher and had no experience at all. So it was a simple, it was a 3-day certification. I went there and basically they would teach us, about childhood development and how music supports, your child's musical growth. And then there would be a test at the end and they'd make sure that you could sing in tune and keep a beat. But it was really intimidating because when I went to this training, there were people that had Juilliard, that were Juilliard graduates or had been musicians their whole lives. And so that was really intimidating because I was like, oh, I just came from the corporate world. I have no experience in music besides the fact that I love to sing and did choirs in high school. But they were like, that's fine. That's okay. If you love kids, you love to sing. I was able to pass the test and get certified. And then I started teaching. But that was, 17 years ago.
Right.
So I started teaching this other program, this internationally research-based music and movement program. And I taught that for years and years and years. And it was only a few years ago that I was like, you know what, I'm ready to write my own music. That's kind of how it started.
So now
and I said, I was going to say it short, but it ended up being a lot longer.
Right.
That's kind of how it started.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. And then so you basically at some point you're like, I need to write my own music. Like this stuff, you know, you've been singing the same songs for over a decade.
Yeah, exactly. So really, writing the music came from wanting to just serve the community better. So like the parents, they appreciated music, similar bands that I appreciated as well. And so this other music program is wonderful, but the music is very traditional and old school.
Yeah.
And so it needed something, more current.
Yes.
And I saw the need for it. So that's when it was really like, I think I could, do this. I need to start writing my own music. But again, there was just so much fear behind that. So it was years before I actually said, you know what, I'm going to do this. Yeah. I was at a friend's house just hanging out, and her brother was there, somebody I didn't know. And we just, started talking. And as you do a new person, you're asking them where they live and, getting to know them. And I asked him, or he asked me what I did for a living. And then I said, I'm a music teacher. And he's like, oh, I'm a music producer.
Oh, no way.
For kids music.
What?
And I'm just moving back from Japan. I've been in Japan this whole time writing music, or producing music for Disney and all these.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So it's just
no way.
It's just like the universe just completely just like put it in my lap. Once I was putting it out there, like telling my friends, I'm doing it. And
the universe was like, heck yeah, you're doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was magical. And then he said, well, how about we start in like 2 days?
Wow.
And I'll come to your house and we'll start working on it. And I'll just record from your house. We'll start it that way.
Wow.
And I had started to write. So I had a couple songs. Yeah. He came over and we knocked out like those 2 songs in one session, and they were just so fun.
Yeah.
And I just was like, oh my goodness, the kids are going to absolutely love these.
Yeah.
And it was so easy. It just all,
right.
When things are meant to be, they just unfold so organically and so effortlessly.
Right.
And it's just confirmation like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you let go of your fear,
the
whole thing just like bloomed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he has been amazing to work with. It's just the chemistry that you have with some people.
Oh yeah.
Is undeniable. Yeah. And you can't even believe it because you just get along so well. Your creativity, flows so well. And so I couldn't do it without him. I feel like, I write the music, but then it's just such a collaborative, thing between the two of us.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, I can't believe we're now, on our 6th album.
Gives a lot of meaning and purpose, and is really important for childhood development and good for families. Something sweet and beautiful to the world.
Absolutely.
It's lovely.
These music classes are so educational for the little ones. Music supports speech development among, all areas of development, emotional, social, fine motor skills, gross motor skills, everything. It's pretty amazing how not only are these little classes fun, but that they're actually getting so much out of them.
It's really fun. I did them with all the kids. Baby Julian and baby Gabriel and baby Daniel.
Exactly.
And now so Indy's doing OC Farm School, and she just loves it. And baby Paul's the one who's next, and I can't wait for him. He's going to love it so much. Yeah. He's so musical. And it's a really cool way for us to just get to be in that childhood place with our kids, which you rarely get to be, especially as a mom. A lot of times we're just in that kind of mom boss mode, get her done mode. And it's to be able to just be in a place of play and to be in that beginner's mind of okay, I've never played with this little, what is the wood thing with the thing that you rub it on? It's there's so many cool instruments, and you're just back in preschool right alongside them.
Yes.
And playing.
Play is how we learn. For children, play is how we learn. And so it really does support, a parent-child bond.
It does.
And inspires more play at home. And it's been so rewarding to see, and the little ones, they come into class and, they know all the songs. And, it's just been, it's been really,
it's
really
so
rewarding.
So exciting. Yeah. I know Indy just loves farm school. Yeah. She's just a big, huge fan.
Yeah. So then farm school is totally separate, a completely other business.
Right.
That was inspired because not only do do I love music? And this goes with my kids too, right?
Right.
Sydney, my daughter, it is the inspiration behind all of it. Like she's the musical girl. And then she, loved animals. And I mean, I love animals as well. Wanting to give her, an education, with animals, and inspire learning, but in, learning about animals and being outdoors and all that. So yeah, that's how the whole farm school came.
Yeah. So
about.
how did that happen? Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah. In business, if there's a need for something and it's not out there, that's your sign to create it, know? So I wanted my daughter to have a little class where she learned about animals and farming, and they didn't have that. So I went into my local petting zoo here and I was like, could I do a little class here? And it was as simple as that. And they were so, just accepting of it. Absolutely. And also, that I had an established business.
Yes.
And then I worked with kids in the community doing music classes.
Yes.
And so they were really supportive of it. And, and so that started and it's just been so incredible to watch that program grow and to hire, other people that, have animal science degrees and, really know their stuff about, animals and farming and all the things. But I mean, the little ones, they're so little, the farm school is for, I do a caregiver and me program for little ones ages like 18 months to 3. And then we do the older program for there's another program for ages 3 to 7. Mm-hmm. And so that's really what we're focused on is the younger
the little ones. Yeah.
So really it's as simple as, teaching them where our food comes from.
Yeah. Like because like once a month you guys
go to the farm.
Yeah.
And they get to pick their own strawberries and their sweet peas, right off of the vine.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my gosh, like this is where my food comes from, know? And we do cooking and, it's really establishing these real healthy eating habits from an early age.
Yeah.
And so there's that. And then, and animals and, these animals give us so much, with cows that give us, milk that we use and, cheese and all the things, but then also being around animals, it's really nurturing compassion and kindness.
Right.
And I really think that if you learn to have that at a young age with animals, it really also carries into how you treat people, I think that's really, really important. So
yeah. It's so sweet. It really is. It's like, how come no one thought of this before? It's amazing. Here we are with our petting zoo and our organic farm. Yeah. We're kind of lucky to live in a town like this, but I'm sure there are other moms out there that are living in towns that have a petting zoo and organic farm who could, reach out to Brooke and figure out how to do this.
Exactly.
Like you can do this too.
Exactly. Yeah. We are in the process. So I have an amazing operations manager, and her name is Jennifer. And again, talk about having these incredible people. It's, what is that saying? Like something about the dream, like to make the team to the, what is that? What is that?
Yeah, it's the dream team. Yeah. It takes the team to make the dream.
Yeah, exactly. So, something like that. So, she is so incredible and, we're working on licensing the program.
I love that. Because you guys have done all the work.
Because the curriculum is
they don't need to recreate it.
Exactly.
Their curriculum is done. They can come to you, get a license and do this all over the U.S.
Exactly.
Anybody who's passionate about early childhood development, animals, music, little kids, like this is something that women can do, like, and free up their lives and get out of the corporate rat race and be their own boss.
Absolutely.
I love this.
Absolutely.
It's so cool. It's such a gift.
So we're excited about licensing, the farm school program to give other people this opportunity and really to just, spell it all out for them. Be like, here is how you do it and successfully.
Amazing.
Because there was a learning curve for us and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. So we're excited about that. And as well as licensing the music program as well. So we're excited about
and that's Magic Steps
Music
program. So you'll have like a 3-day course where people get certified to do it. That's amazing.
We definitely will, do a training and regular training and support that teacher.
Amazing.
And give them all the songs and the materials. And it's going to be so professional and so well done, so that everybody can be as successful as we've been.
That's amazing, Brooke.
Yeah,
look at you go, girl.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you. You've come a long way in a decade.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a rough one, and you just like pushed through and made it. You turned lemons into lemonade, didn't you?
Yeah. I my advice to to people that have an idea is don't let anybody tell you that you can't actually make a living at it. Because when I started this music company, people were saying, it's only going to buy you groceries. Like, that's it,
Right.
If I had really listened to them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, And I do believe that things are blessed when they're for the greater good of all.
Absolutely. I so agree.
Yeah. So I it was always my passion was always to serve and give back. And then it just ended up becoming a career that I could support my family on, And so that's, so, I'm so grateful for that I've been able to support my 2 kiddos, and also, like I said, serve the community and in this way. It's been
you really have. You really, really stepped up as a mom. You really did. You have taken such good care of your kids, using music to do it. It's been really amazing to watch you do that. It's very inspiring. So cool.
Thank you.
So you've created something that's lasted and grown. What were some of the first steps you took to make it real? Did you have a business plan or support, or just drive? I think this is like OC Farm School. Did you have a business plan, or what did you do? How did you do this?
I would recommend that everybody have a business plan.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't, there was no business plan. It was just all in my mind. The vision was all in my mind of like, okay, this is what I want to do. And so, so I went in, with the intention of like, let's start a little class. And I just every idea that I had, I just implemented it, and it evolved into what it is now, through like, trial and error, or what the people need.
Yeah.
Right. So Farm School really started as a camp.
Right.
And then from the camp, then there was COVID.
Yeah.
So everybody needed an outdoor school.
Yes.
And so then it was, okay, we're going to be a kindergarten readiness program. We're going to not only teach them about animals, but we're going to teach them, how to write their name because they're young. Yeah. So we're going to try to fit it all in. So we were teaching them how to, write their names and their letters and their letter sounds, and as much as we could to get them prepared for, kindergarten, first grade. But then when everything opened up again, we were like, whew, kind of a bit of a relief that we didn't have to, do all that. We could just really focus on, what it was meant to be originally, which was teaching them about, where their food comes from and about animals and the compassion for animals,
That's
and
amazing.
It being an enrichment program. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But that's that AC that I talk about in the book, the Adjust and Conquer.
Yes.
And you did the AC there to compensate.
Yes.
Because you had a bunch of kids that needed to learn.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere to go.
Pivot.
Yeah.
Pivot. I mean, the music program, when I started, I did start with a company that gave us just kind of the how-to on how to start a business, which you can find that right now at, gosh, I mean, Chat GPT basically, right? These are the steps. Right. Get a business license, da-da-da. So it did help me out. This company helped me out getting started with the music program. People also give you ideas on like, okay, do it this way, but you have to, as a business owner, also lean into your own intuitions and be like, what, I'm going to think outside the box and I'm going to do something, maybe a little bit of what I want to do. So I ended up, with the music, I ended up tweaking some things and doing things that I wanted to do, like versus what that company had told me to do. You know?
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when you were at that point, you know, kind of putting your own spin on their brand. I remember that.
Yeah.
Those days. Yeah. Kind of making it a little bit more yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thinking outside the box. I mean, like they might have said, you know, you need to rent things out of community centers and you need to do this. And I was like, no, you know what? I want to do my own thing and I want to, you know, rent my own space. And I don't know, you know, just, you know, that's the great thing about being an entrepreneur is that you can, you know, just do your own thing too. You know, when you
make your own decisions.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is so nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to have that control over things and be like, no, this would work better for me.
This would work better. And for the business.
Yeah,
and
totally.
For everyone.
What's one thing you'd tell another single mom who wants to start something of her own?
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. You can do it. I mean, and know that the universe will, if you put out there, like, this is what I want to do, I think that it all just falls into place for you.
Right.
You know? So I would tell single moms to just believe in themselves and to and to take baby steps.
Right.
Baby steps into the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And one step at a time, you know, conquering, like, you know, what the dream is. Like, I'm going to do baby steps to get there. And it can be overwhelming, you know, taking care of children and creating a business. And it doesn't happen overnight. It definitely, you know, for me, it was just steady growth, but over time, you know, you just continue to keep believing yourself and keep making the effort. And yeah, it's really cool when you look back at 10 years and you go, oh my goodness, like, where I am now. But it was because, you know, those little baby steps and continuing to put in the effort, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. The little things add up.
Yeah, the little things add up.
I always say it's not one big thing. It's always a bunch of little things that get you there.
It is.
Yeah. So don't get overwhelmed by like doing something big because there's no one big thing.
No.
There's a bunch of little steps that get to the big
the little
thing.
Steps. It's all about the little steps.
Yeah, like the magic steps.
Yeah.
In your music program.
Exactly.
I was like, here's some of your magic steps right there.
Exactly.
Love that.
Yeah.
So you're in a space that's part education, part entertainment, and part wellness. How do you stay creative and inspired over the long haul?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think that breaks, vacations away from it all has always brought me back to my work feeling inspired and all the things. So, you know, when the kids are out of school, I take time off with them to go out in nature and to disconnect, you know, and that's always been how I stay, you know, so incredibly focused and driven and excited is those breaks.
Yeah. Having boundaries.
Absolutely. And having disconnecting, like, you know, we're a big outdoorsy family. So we, you know, I'll go to Yosemite or somewhere there's no Wi-Fi and really just connecting with nature and the kids. And it's, you know, it's really inspiring, you know.
I love that about you guys. You guys have the best adventures. What was your last adventure?
Ooh, what was the last adventure? Well, I'm thinking of I guess I just was in Kauai with my son on a surf trip.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. So I guess that was the last one during spring break.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. And what's next?
And then we're going to Greece. My daughter and I are going to Greece and taking her girlfriend.
How fun.
In June. Yeah. In a couple weeks. So,
neat.
You know, I do think that I think the traveling is really what helps give me a lot of the inspiration and the creativity.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. Yeah, it's neat to be in different places and also to have that time to bond with your kids too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, an expensive trip to Europe. It can be just camping or a little weekend getaway at an Airbnb or I don't know. it can be that easy too.
Right? Just making the time to get away and get out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a little break from the ordinary. Yeah. It's so simple. I threw the kids in the car and we drove to Arizona a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we just went to the wave pool with my brother Paul.
Amazing.
And Gabe got to go fishing on the lake. And it was 3 days. But the kids felt like a world away from everything, Yeah, it's nice to get a little time every once in a while.
Absolutely. And it's in the stillness that you also, get these creative ideas, and you're like, I'm going to do this when I get back, and I'm going to do this. And it's in that stillness. And also, if you can have a little bit of solitude, I know that's really hard with kids.
But it's the best. You're right. It is so important.
Solitude, because us women, and men too, not to take this away from men. If you love to serve and give, we give. And it's a beautiful thing and to give. And I love giving and I get so much back from giving. But you got to love yourself to love others well. And so if you give yourself a little bit of solitude, it's amazing how much energy, just a little bit, a day.
A day. I feel like a day is like a whole week. It used to be when I was single.
24 hours. There's been times where I know it's kind of crazy because I'm just single female, would go to Joshua Tree and I would stay there for 24 hours and I would come home and I would feel like a completely different person, as if I'd just been on a vacation for a week, only from 24 hours of solitude. It's amazing what that can give to you.
Yes.
And how much creativity and energy you can get back from 24 hours or a day or something.
That's wonderful advice. So many of us, it's like we're trying to prioritize all of these things, our kids, our jobs, our husbands, our partners, and then somewhere along the line ourselves. And we really do have to put ourselves up on that priority list a little bit. And, maybe try that, girls. Maybe try taking a day for yourself. When was the last time you had a day for yourself?
Honestly,
I don't remember.
Honestly. And I think that people feel guilty, like I'm selfish if I do this. Right. And they might have a hard time telling their husbands that they need this time. But I say just try it one time, and your husbands or your partners or your kids will feel they'll feel a difference from you because you're able to, like I said, even give back more because you were able to love yourself first.
I love that.
So it's hard though, because I know how I love serving. I love taking care of my family, and it's not easy to give yourself that love. It's not. But once, I feel like you do it one time and you're like, oh my gosh, okay.
Right?
I remember the first time I
need
did
to do
it.
this.
Yeah.
I've never done this. Like I've never even thought about doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, I'm curious. You have me curious, Brooke.
Gosh.
What happens when I'm alone for 24 hours?
I called a girlfriend and I was like, do you think that I'm crazy if I just go to Joshua Tree in the desert for 24 hours? Another mom. But she had been an outdoorsy adventure before kids. I hadn't.
Right.
So she had backpacked by herself, the whole thing. Yeah. And she's like, girl, do it. You're going to love it. Wow. I was like, okay. So I kind of felt like a little crazy. Yeah. But she was so right. And when I did that, I came back and that was just the first of. And then I went backpacking.
How often do you do this solo thing? Like, what's your ritual?
I would say, well, it's all over the place, right? But every 6 months.
I love wow.
Yeah. Every 6 months.
I love that. That's wild.
Even just 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's amazing. Yeah. That is so amazing.
I have a boyfriend now, and so I have kids and stuff. Yeah. So I love to spend time with him.
Yeah, of course.
And but there was many years where like everybody was, I'd call my besties. They were with their husbands. Everybody was busy. And I'm like, I want to go to Catalina.
Yeah.
And I want to go hiking, and they couldn't go. So I went, you know what I mean? So you just got to go. If nobody's going to go, then I think you just go and know that you're supposed to go by yourself. And And like I said, it just fills your cup.
That's amazing. I love
you.
that. We have so much to learn from you. I have to have you back on the show.
Yes,
I'm
please.
so
Yes,
excited
please.
that we have so much more to talk about.
Yes.
I am like, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me today on this amazing day, book launch day.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited for what you're doing and how it's going to help so many women. I'm so excited for all of the people listening and for their journey. I mean, it's just, it's so exciting. This book, I cannot wait to read it. And, I mean, life is good. And just, I think if when we're passionate about something and we do it, we're just going to be so fulfilled, know?
Right?
So,
full of purpose.
Full of purpose. And so you're supporting others to do that and to follow their path. And I don't think there could be anything better than that.
Thank you, honey.
So thank you for having me on the show.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.